Oh, hey, we're back, and did it just cut off? Another thing that always is a problem whenever I do these particular post commentaries for J&D the P Legacy, and sometimes when I'm doing it for Chain Memories with the codes, is where there's always some sort of desync. So I'm like, hey, there's a trophy, and that was like seconds ago. So it was like, and then there's the parts where I'm supposed to be like, hey, so please, see you in the next episode. Let's wait till you need to be. All of a sudden, it's like, so I see, I say, let's play Jeff, and then all of a sudden it cuts off on me on that. Not, I'm sorry, that seriously bugs me every time. God. Anyway, what was I talking about? Of course, about PSN. Zen. Out of all the friends I have on PSN, there are only two that I legitimately talk to, and only one in which I've actually done legitimate multiplayer with. I think I've done basically like multiplayer with like just people online, and this is when I was playing the Simpsons arcade game. God, now I want to play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. But then again, uh, those were just so awesome to play. In fact, there are a lot of arcade games that I played that I really wish I could be playing right now. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is indeed one of them. I've filled with The Simpsons, but it's still pretty cool to play that. Especially realizing how I can beat the game in less than 30 minutes. That's I still find that to be really hilarious. Like, wow. 30 minutes, huh? That's interesting. Never really realized that. And then there's like a few other arcade ones that they are so arcadish that it's gonna be very hard to like transition it onto say like over on PSN or even on Xbox Live. Because I remember there was like this Star Wars arcade that I remember playing. This is back when like Chuck E. Cheese was like my main biz to the point where like even when I was young I was like, if I wanted a part-time job I would want to work there. And I remember the time where I told my grandma that, and she was like saying how like, okay, you work out with like sweeping out the floors and all that, then work your way up to being one of the testers of the games. Because I remember for the most part, whenever I went to Chuck E. Cheese, it was usually when they immediately open up. So I was usually like the first or like second kid in a family, or I guess you could say first or second family to be there at the time where there always be some guy. It was usually a guy, but I remember there was like one girl at one time, and they would check out the games. See if it works. Or if it didn't work, they'll put on a tag saying, oh, okay, this game doesn't work. And if it did work, and usually it was one of those ticket games, then they'll just leave the tickets there, so that way a kid will be like, ooh, free tickets, and then just steal them because that's just what we do. If it's free, no one claims them, it's ours. What? That's how we roll. So, yeah. And I remembered I celebrated like 2 birthdays there. And I remember one specific birthday where I remembered, as a birthday present, I gotten a Pokemon poster, which had the first 150 Pokemon. And I remembered, when I was watching the show and it went with like, who's that Pokemon? Like, so like I would immediately just cheat, look at the poster, I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally coughing. Yep. And there were some times where I like, okay, that's totally a Vileplume. Didn't even need the poster. Wait, Vileplume's not even on the poster. Okay, I still didn't need it anyway. So, God, there's a lot of sidetracking here. Originally, what I had planned was to talk about YouTube. I already talked about YouTube. Dude, to a certain extent. There's only so much you can talk about YouTube without making it seem like as if you're going against them. To the point where YouTube knows you're going against them, and they'll try to do drastic measures to make sure that you don't do that anymore. I'm making it sound as if YouTube's now like the mafia. Yeah. You come to our site to post your random videos. Are you sure these are your original content? Are you sure you're not stealing it? If you are, do you have proof that you're allowed to post something like this? And I remember there was a time where I was talking with my best friend the Co's, and we had a little discussion over partnership, and of course we're like trying to figure out, like, okay, there's a couple ways where partnership works. Either A, you ask for a partnership, or B, you get invited for a partnership. Usually if it's the second one, then more likely you were invited. And then we're like talking about like different partnerships, specifically gaming partnerships, and like you know, and all that. And out of all the partnerships that I know, frankly, like, as far as gaming partnerships, there's only 3 that I know, and only one of them I'm pretty sure is just it's just like an invite thing, where you have to be invited. You could technically ask them, but unless you have good enough credibility to say yes, you are worthy of working alongside us and help us with any other future projects if we may need you. And all that. And I don't know. And this was a question that was and I remember the whole partnership thing. It was brought up to me a while ago, actually, a very long time ago. I think all the way back in early 2001, I think about just partnership in general, where if you were ever given a partnership, would you take that? And if so would you then, would whatever partnership you're giving him, would that be your identity? And I remember I never really had an answer for that, and still to this day I still don't have an answer for that. I mean, there were a couple of things that I wanted to do with this channel, but there were some things I just didn't want to do because of what my subscribers subscribed to me for. And this was during a time where I basically had like my 30 subscribers, which later became 21, and then later it grew up to over 200. And even still, I remember I joked a little about my subscribers to my best friend, and it's like there are a couple of subscribers there. There are those that will support you no matter what. There are those that will only support you if you do something they like. And then there are those that just subscribe to you but really don't understand why they subscribe to you in the first place. And usually it's those type of subscribers that they saw one of your videos and they instantly subscribe to you. And like, they didn't even have to check out your other videos. They're like, yeah, I fully trust you on this. This is awesome. I'm immediately gonna subscribe to you because and usually those that do that either they have someone have an idea of what you do, or you just subscribe to them for a video that they don't necessarily, that's not necessarily their main focus of the channel. And I remember when I uploaded the Royal Wedding, and I saw these different subscribers, and then I'm like tracing the source. I'm like, okay, some of you are just subscribing to me because I uploaded that video. Yeah, do you realize I do Let's Plays, right? And I remember and I'm pretty sure I made this joke before, where I'm like, yeah, if you're subscribing to me because you think, okay, I'm just gonna be uploading My Little Pony episodes straight up from season 1 all the way to season 3 now. And you know what? I can't wait till the next episode. So keep calm and flutter on, Ron, yeah, immediately when that thing goes on my iTunes, straight up, gonna upload that. Tell you the support and all that. That. Uh, that. But even then, I'm like, yeah, that's... Well, that was only something I did upon random request. And that request wasn't technically towards me. Me at all. It was just like a general request. Like, you know, like people like say, man, I wish that was real. And then people overhear that and I'm like, that's interesting. And then they do that. And then they do that. Sometimes they're like, this came from an idea from so-and-so. I don't know if they knew I was going to take their request or not. But I decided to make the request a reality. And that was basically it. That was basically, it was all just request. Yes, it was one gigantic request. And of course it was technically the original until Hasbro came and took it down and I couldn't make a counterclaim saying I was using fair use. I didn't own, even though I didn't own it. I wasn't trying to like make any money off of it. No, those advertisements came from even YouTube because they said that even though I acknowledge the fact that I don't own the copyright, they're still gonna put ads on there for some reason. There, and that still confused me.